All right, people, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another video. And I'm here to talk about a little game called Dead Island 2, the Day 1 edition. Not the Day 1 edition in particular. No one cares about the Day 1 edition, but because especially since I got it a couple days early, so I got the day negative like 2 or 3 edition. Anyway, so Dead Island 2 finally came out on Friday, and I've been playing it, and I'm about 15 hours in, so I'm actually a good chunk of the way through. Usually when I do these first impression videos, it's like a few hours into it. Matters on how long the game is. If it's like a 30-40 hour game, I won't talk about it until I'm at least 15 to 20 hours in to do a first impressions, because I feel like you play the first couple hours, you're not even getting the crux of the story or like a lot of the gameplay mechanics and stuff. So I like to wait. This game, I kept hearing, is 20 hours long, which there's no way in hell it is, because I'm, again, 15 hours in, and to be fair, I guess I am doing the side stuff. So maybe the 20 hours was more of the story stuff. But even that, like, I was doing mostly story stuff to begin with, mainly because the game wasn't really dishing out a lot of side content until, like, there's 24 story missions. It takes about, I'd say, like 10, maybe 12 until you start getting a good amount of side stuff. You still get side stuff here and there, but it's very sprinkled throughout. I'm at mission 19 now, and I'm getting, I get a lot of side stuff. Like, at this point, I think I'm finished with like 12 of the side missions. There's 33, by the way, so there's a good amount of side stuff. So not even just story missions. When you have side stuff, you get a lot of missions here, and then you have all the blueprints and challenges and all the weapons, rare weapons you can find and stuff. You got a lot of content in this game is what I'm trying to say. So I'm 15 hours in. There's no way in hell I'm going to finish it in 20, because I still have like 5 or 6 story missions. Some of them go for a pretty long time, and then I have like almost like a little over 20 side missions, and then there's also the lost and found missions, which is just like find a person or find a weapon. It's just like find stuff, which those ones are a little bit more annoying. Anyway, this isn't even my first impression. This is to talk about the content of the game. I was very excited for it because I really liked the original Dead Island. I really did. I had a great time with that game. It's simple, but it's fun. It's pretty much what Dying Light is now, which Dying Light is more popular, even though this game sold 1 million copies in only a couple days. So that was really cool to hear. Especially since it kind of was creeping up out of nowhere and not a ton of people were really talking about it. So it's really cool that Dead Island is still enough of a name after like almost, actually it's been over 10 years since Dead Island 1 came out. And it's almost been 10 years since they announced Dead Island 2, so that's crazy. But yeah, it's still a big enough name, even with reviews that are ranging the low 7s. So hey, it's 1 million. You put some zombies, put some gore in it, we're good times. So my opinion of the game, I know I'm vamping a lot. My opinion of the game is extremely solid. I really like it. Dead Island 2 is a lot of fun. First of all, the game is gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. The LA environment, Hell A if you want to be cute, looks great. Like, the game itself is not open world technically, but really is. I didn't really understand why people were saying like, no, it's linear. It is still open world. Sure, it's spread out more so like a Monster Hunter, or like how I compare it more like to Borderlands, where like you have big areas, but to get to the next area you have to like either you have to go to an area and then press a button and it'll load into the next area. So it's not a full open world, you know what I mean? But each segment, and there's 10 of them, I think, I haven't gotten to all 10, but it looks like there's 10 segments you can get to. I'm up to 8, I think. They're pretty big. Like, they're not huge, but they're big. And if you combine all 10 of them together, then you have a pretty nice open world. A pretty good one, especially since there's no cars or anything. So it doesn't feel like you're really covering a lot of ground really quickly because you're walking a lot. Never feels like you're walking a lot too, I should say. Because they always have enough to do in the world where it doesn't feel like you're going back and forth and back and forth. There is also a fast travel. You don't get that until a little bit later in the game. That's probably also why they don't give you a ton of side missions in the first, like, I'd say maybe first half of the game, because you'd be going back and forth. You'd have to actually walk to one loading point to the next loading point to get to the side mission that you want to do. So I would actually recommend not doing any side missions at first and just waiting until you get to the fast travel, which you should get to in about 10, maybe less hours, maybe like 8. Somewhere around there, 8 to 10 hours. If you take your time like me, I was doing others. Well, if you're not doing any other side missions, then it'll probably take you less time, maybe 7 to 8. whatever. Anyway, I think it's really fun. I think the combat is very satisfying. It's very simple, but it's very satisfying. All the weapons are really fun. Upgrading them, putting electric, poison, or corrosive, I guess. Corrosive, fire effects on them, bleeding damage effects. They're all the same stuff you expect from Dying Light and even the original Dead Island and even Dead Island Riptide. But what makes this game so much more fun than any of those games is the gore system. The system of the level of detail. You will knock pieces of these zombies off, and I swear to God, I'm 15 hours in, I'm still blown away by the detail. Like, you'll knock a jaw off, you'll knock a part of the head off, you'll knock their arm off, and it slowly, like, slumps down. You can knock both their legs off, and then they'll start crawling for you. Pieces of meat on their torso. It's grisly, but it's so well detailed. Like, I thought Resident Evil 2 Remake was going to be the best when it comes to, like, wet viscera, but this... By the way, that was my nickname in high school. But this is like above and beyond. It really is. Like, you can use a corrosive, like, bat. Say you put a corrosive effect on a bat, so whenever you hit them, they start to, acid and burn away. They will burn away all their skin, all their stuff, so they're just like muscle and bone. But they'll still be walking and stuff. And so you could still, and at that point, you could still, like, knock a jaw off. You can knock a leg off. You can knock an arm off. And you'll see, like, the bone come out. You could blow up their rib cages. You see rib cages everywhere. It's so well detailed and so graphic. It makes me wonder, did they just spend most of the time developing this game just to do this? Because this is it on the back of the box? Hold on. It's not even on the back of the box. It should be. It says New Ways to Slay. Maybe you can argue... That's it. Maybe. I don't know. But dude, it should be like you put it on the back of the box, because it really is a selling feature. Because it never gets boring killing these zombies now. If it was the same like death animation and the same like ragdoll, not that ragdoll can be the same, but it's like you cut the arms off and then they do the same animation and then they fall down or something, but it always looks the same, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of variety when it comes to the zombie types. You'll see a lot of the same models over and over again, but you can do different things to each model. It's really cool. So if you're using a bat, you're using a sledgehammer, which I love the sledgehammer. You're using knives, you're using whatever, guns. At a certain point, you get guns, obviously. Just like Dead Island 1, I remember that. It takes a little while until you get guns. But it's fun. My main problem with the game, though, I will say, is that there's a little bit too much of the respawning enemies, which is fine because a game like this, you like to grind, but it takes a little while to grind levels out. Killing just zombies, you have to really do the story missions or the main mission or the side missions or side content or challenges and stuff, which you can do by killing zombies, obviously. But even that is not enough. It takes a little while to level up, and really, if you're leveling up only by killing zombies, you're gonna be in this game a lot. And also, the weapons have durability, so you're gonna be spending a lot of money fixing them or getting new ones. So at a certain point, you're just going to be like, all right, I don't really want to fight all the zombies. Even though it's fun, I'd rather just do it in the story mission, so I'm progressing and also having fun. But a lot of times the enemies will spawn right back. I can't tell you how many times I turn around, no zombies. I look, no zombies. Look over here, then turn back around, and literally they spawn in. They like phase in, like fucking. It's like we're reversing the blip in Avengers where they just come back and they go, oh, like what the fuck? Oh, I'm a zombie, So it's just it's so weird. Graphically, it's beautiful. Gameplay wise, it's fun. The mission variety has been very simple. It's like clear out the zombies. I mean, in a situation like this, that makes sense. But it's like save people. For the most part, the mission variety is very simple. Like, go find my friend. Oh, he's dead. He's a zombie. Okay, kill him. Go find my, my sister. Oh, she's dead. All right, kill her. Oh, go get a key and then open a thing and then go here. Oh, find my liquor. Find my cigars, and you always get rewards and XP, of course, like that. So it's just fun to play. It's a fun game. And I'm playing by myself because I'm a lonely fuck. So I can only imagine how much fun it is to play with up to 2 other people, because for some reason there's only 3-player co-op. Also, the characters are actually not that bad. They're actually kind of fun. I actually like them. Sam B returns. Hell yeah, shout outs. And it's not Phil Lamar this time, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think it is. At least it doesn't sound like him. But I didn't really look at the cast. But there's some fun characters. Like, the dialogue itself isn't great, but it's like, I would say it's maybe even when it comes to the comedy, maybe like a step above Borderlands. I think Borderlands, unless we're talking about Tales from Borderlands, has definitely run its course with its humor. But I think it's not hilarious, but it's definitely inoffensive. It's better than the Saints Row reboot from last year. There you go. How about that? Does that work? It's definitely better than that. And it's not a lot of humor. It's not always like when you're playing the game, there's not really much humor, but it is fun to watch them kind of make fun of like popular types, you know what I mean? Like you'll come across a streamer who's like, let's stream you murdering some zombies on my whatever, my TikTokies or my Twitchy doos or whatever it's called. And like you'll come across one character who's like almost like a simp for this like stunt woman or whatever. I don't know. He's kind of like he's kind of a moron, or he keeps thinking like the character he plays in the movie that she's a stunt woman for or something like that is real or something like that. It's one of those things where like the dialogue is like whatever. The characters are fun enough though. Like I'm like, oh, this guy, whatever. You meet a bunch of guys that work at like this crab restaurant or whatever, and like immediately one of them gets killed, which is actually a scene you see in the trailer with the guy that gets his head crushed, but he still smokes the cigarette before he dies. Well, he's dead already, but he smokes a cigarette while he has like no top part of his head. That part's good. Like humor like that is fine. A lot of different types, a lot of different weapons. It's just a lot of fun. I really recommend it. If you want to just have a good old time, I can't see how anybody would hate this game. Like, I really don't. Like, it runs pretty well. There's some glitches, but it runs pretty damn well. So I gotta give them credit there. I know it's like something like, well, yeah, it better run well. But at this point in gaming, you have to kind of give it credit, I guess, because they actually got the game fucking working pretty well. Especially a game that was in development hell like this. And also from the developers of Homefront: The Revolution, which was a game that came out that was in fucking dire condition. That shit was on life support when it came out, but that was also their first game, so you know, and it's been 7 years, so they made a fucking really fun game that runs very well, is pretty charming at times, has a fucking awesome gore system that like this should be like the new Nemesis system where like other people should take it and like, oh yeah, oh fuck, they have like extra, like it's actually, to be fair, actually Doom Eternal had it too. And never mind, I take it back. Doom Eternal had that too. It's just less noticeable in Doom Eternal because it's so fucking fast paced, you know what I mean? And sure, you're in their face, but you're fucking killing them real quick. So I really like it. I would right now, honestly, I'd probably give it a pretty high rating, but I don't know if that's going to be the case by the time I'm done with it. It could fall flat. Right now, the story is very simple. You play a character, whoever you pick of the 6 characters, which they all have distinct features too, which is kind of cool, but I only play one of them, so I can't really tackle that. But you're immune. You have to go to a place, and along the way, you meet other characters that will either help you or won't get to the place that you need to go. I won't spoil anything else, really. But it's very simple so far. So, anyway, I'd probably give it like an 8.5 right now, though. I'm really liking it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time. And whenever I get addicted to something, I can overlook little flaws here and there. Like, even the respawning enemies is like, that's like a massive flaw for me. But, because it's really annoying sometimes. It really is. Like, that's like the only problem I really have with the game. But there's like other small, like glitches and stuff like that. And maybe some mission variety and stuff. There's also times where I'm just like, all right, cool. Did that whole mission, and I got a weapon that sucks worse than all the other weapons I have. Also, doesn't seem like there's any way to upgrade how many weapons you can carry at one time. I'm 15 hours in, they still haven't introduced that, because I've always had 16 slots. And not that it matters, but oh, you know what? I take it back. They do make it so that if you miss an item, it will be in your inventory, your like little storage locker later. Now, I take it back. That's not even a negative. Actually, I just thought about it. They actually fixed that. Never mind. I take it back. Because there's times where I'm like, I want that weapon, but I don't want to get rid of any of my weapons, and I have to walk back and all that stuff. And then I'm like, oh, wait. That's right. There's a storage locker that will show you, like, all the unclaimed stuff. It's kind of like a God of War. God of War has that, too, where if you have things you didn't, like, pick up, then it'll be at, like, Brock and Sindri's little place. Never mind. I take it back. Anyway, it's a really fun game. So there you go. That's it. Bye.